From a little cover, I got my dreams inside. Wrestling on the mat, I go and put up a fight. With every hold and slam, I rise to the peak. Now as Professor Bear, it's my strength that they see. Roaring with knowledge like a lion so proud. In this wrestling world, I'm standing out loud. I'm Professor Bear, got the passion to spare. Wrestling's my life, with the power to share. From the roots to ropes, in the spotlight we gleam. Chasing victory dreams, living out the theme. Now my WOSN, my squad.
Yeah. Hey, new beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul.
With my boys crew, we'll always ride. In the wrestling world, one just claim the prize.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me this evening. I am Professor Bear, and this is a Bear's Thought. And my thought for today is wrestling is such an amazing sport. It brings people together that would not likely get to meet one another. And I've been having just the amazing time getting to talk to a lot of indie promotions. I mean, it's just been a blessing. And speaking of blessing, I have with me the heavyweight champion of CCW, that's Continental Championship Wrestling,
Yes, sir.
Odin. How are you doing today, my friend?
You know, I am living the American dream. I cannot complain. I'm down here in Florida. I'm talking to you, and I got a little bit of a drink here to help the day go by. So I'm having a pretty good time. How about yourself?
Oh, I can't complain. It's been just such a crazy and wonderful thing, and to really think that I'm getting to kind of live my dreams of wrestling, but not wrestling. But I get to do so many dives and meet people and talk about different things. So, man, I cannot complain at all.
Yeah, I'm sure you're hearing some pretty good stories.
Woo! I could go down a laundry list of stuff, but let's dive into you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, the first thing I always ask my guests is, how did you become a wrestling fan?
Ooh, I was about 9 years old, and I moved to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And at the time, the neighborhood I lived in, I made a friend with my buddy Reese. We're still friends to this day. We don't need to talk about how long ago that was when I was 9, but we're still friends to this day. He was a huge wrestling fan. He had, we'll just say, he had those My Dummy dolls of Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. That's how old we are. And those, so don't try to do the math. Anyway, he had those, and he was a huge wrestling fan, and he always watched wrestling. And then I always started watching wrestling, and I just fell in love and have been in love ever since.
That is so cool. With that being said, how did you transform from just being a wrestling fan to actually getting in the business?
About 2015, I was still out in Omaha. and I just wanted to start doing it. And so there weren't any schools in Omaha. The only good reputable school was out in Algona, Iowa, under Impact Pro Wrestling, and there was a guy named Travis Shillington out there, and he learned from he was a Minnesota guy. He learned from a couple of people that used to work for the AWA back in the 80s, so he knew what he was talking about. So I would drive the 4.5 hours there and then 4.5 hours back every weekend to go get my feet wet. Then I tore my Achilles tendon and life went on. So about 4 years later, 2020, I ended up down at Dr. Tom's and Kane School, JPWA, and I've just been ripping and roaring ever since.
Oh, wow. So when you started your journey into wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
what was one of the first things that was made clear to you that you thought was one thing, but you quickly found out it was something different?
That's an interesting question. I would say how do I say this without being offensive? The wrestlers in the industry were different than I thought they were going to be. For the most part, for the ones, the business is kind of in a everybody can do this type era. So a lot of the ones who think they can that shouldn't do, and that was kind of a little bit of a shock to me at first, and of adjustment, kind of an eye-opening moment, like, oh, okay, this will be interesting to see how this goes, because the business has changed.
Oh, yeah. So with that being said, how did you link up with Continental Championship Wrestling?
One of my old friends that I had met at Dr. Tom's was working down here in Continental, and I needed a place that I wanted to work consistently, and I knew I was going to be moving down here to Florida. So he hooked me up with our promoter down here, and my first show with them was January of 2021, and I've been here ever since, and I've engraved myself into CCW pretty heavily.
Very cool. Now, we talked off camera just for a moment, and I asked you the question of, do you know the rich history of Continental Championship Wrestling? Mm-hmm. And you actually told me, yeah. And honestly, I don't know that how old you are, but I know I'm older. So I go back to the late 70s and the 80s of wrestling. And for me, Continental Championship Wrestling was one of the two big organizations that we saw here in Knoxville. And like we had so many great people come through and made them just a great history and company. Now, with that being said, can you tell me how this version of Continental has been going since I've watched it?
You know, we like to have a lot of that same philosophy that the old Continental Championship Wrestling had. We are, there's regional styles of wrestling, and we are a very southern regional territory. That's how we operate. We run several small towns in North Florida and South Georgia, and the way that we wrestle is very southern. We're very athletic based. We like to tell stories in our matches, and we like to entertain the crowd, and that's just how we do. It's very clear. We have heels, we have baby faces. It's very clear who's who, and we just like to try to keep the tradition of an old southern territory.
For me, that's just straight from my heart. That makes me excited. And I forgot to do this before we started talking, but guys, girls, if you look to the right-hand corner, you'll see their logo. I want you to get familiar with their logo. So if you want to find more about them, you know you're looking at the right Continental Championship Wrestling. Now, to above me is a QR code that will take you straight to their YouTube page. And again, the tradition is there. I've been lucky to watch some of it, and I immediately go back to being a little kid of that. Just tradition is there. Again, me being a Southern wrestling fan,
Yeah.
I love when you keep that tradition alive, but also incorporating new updated methods. So
Yeah.
they are doing so well. So please check them out. Now, with that being said, you've got to tell us about the journey to becoming the heavyweight champion.
Well, it's not easy. I guess it is dedication, it's hard work, it's patience, it's time away from your friends and your family. But ultimately, if you have a goal and you want to achieve it, you got to put in the work. And that's what I've done. I've been putting in the work for the last 4 years. I've been training, I've been learning, and I've reached the top of the mountain. And it's going to be a long time before I get off it, too.
And that's an interesting way of putting it, because my next question was, how long do you plan on? Well, first question is, how long have you been the champion? And how long do you plan on being champion?
I actually just won this belt 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We have 2 major events that we do every year. We have one in late January. Stampede is our major event. And so we have a big giant battle royal. The winner of the battle royal wins $10,000 in a title shot. And I was the only person in my recent memory that won the battle royal and the belt in the same night. So I pretty much ran through our entire roster. No, I'm not trying to, but I'm pretty good. Anyway, right. And then Stampede is also our other major show that we do every year. So yeah, I just won this one at our first major show this year. And I don't plan on losing it until, I decide to just leave it in the ring and say I'm done.
So going through the battle royal, and it's kind of the question is kind of your strategy. What was your strategy that you focus on to help you bring you $10,000 in the title shot?
Well, if you watched, I hid behind a lot of the big guys and let them take the punishment. And then I threw them out of the ring.
Man. So the funniest thing, I love that. And I was just today strolling like I do through different wrestling things. And just so happened, I came up on a Roddy Piper interview that I never remembered, that he was talking about Shawn Michaels. And he was saying, yeah, look, and this is when he won it and threw the British Bulldog out.
Mm-hmm.
British Bulldog was tussling with King Kong Bundy. And Roddy Piper's like, see what kind of coward he is. He wouldn't do anything. He threw his hands up and hid in the corner. And he said, what kind of man is that? I'm thinking, that's a pretty damn smart man.
Uh-huh. Listen, 25 men, that's a lot of bodies in the ring. I'm putting somebody in front of me, and then I'm cleaning up at the end.
And clearly it worked.
And clearly it did.
So tell me about when you defeated the champion and took it. What was it? I hate to use this word, but was it a surprise to you, or did you know, oh, it's over now. I got this shot. I'm about to take full advantage of it.
I knew. Bryce was having some knee issues going into the match. So I knew he was weakened. And I've known Bryce for a long time. So I knew exactly what to do and when to do it and exactly what he was going to do and when he was going to do it. And I used it against him. I mean, it just is. And some of these bigger guys, they're big and they're strong, but, they're not always the smartest. So sometimes you just take advantage of that. And I did.
So how do you feel representing Continental? This is your Continental now.
Mm-hmm.
What is your goal with this being the face of the company?
I want to take us to heights that we haven't seen. I want us to grow. I want us to be bigger. I want us to be better than we already are. And with me as the face of the company, I see that being a pretty easy thing to do. We've got a company, in all serious, down here in Jacksonville with a bunch of young, hungry, young men and women. And a lot of them, including myself, are sick of being looked over or not paid attention to when we consistently draw the crowds here in Jacksonville or in Waycross or in Palatka, or I can keep going and going and going. We consistently draw people, and we should be seen by everyone because we have a good roster of young men and women. And I gotta say, I'm proud of all of us. So that's what I want. I want us to grow. I want us to get better. And I want all of our pockets to get fatter.
With that being said, what makes Continental that special of a company right now?
Our wrestlers, the work that we put in, our style of wrestling. I feel that our style of wrestling is slowly fading away. I feel that good storytelling in a match is slowly fading away, especially on the indie level. A lot of people just think it's just about the moves. Nobody wants to sell anything. Nobody wants to actually put in the work to make people believe in you as a person. They just want to go out there and have a good time and do all these big, spectacular moves. But our job is to make the people believe in us. And that's what we do. That's what makes Continental special. You believe in Odin Davenport when you see him in the ring. You believe that Bryce Maddox could lift this whole ring by himself because he is a monster. You believe that Gino Adonis could take a bar and bend it in half if he wanted to. You believe that Savion could just strike at any moment. Like, you believe in our guys, and that's what makes us special.
I love hearing that. I definitely agree that storytelling is starting to fade, but with great promotions like y'all's, it is something that I feel so proud of and look forward to seeing grow. I think that if you continue keeping tradition alive, but not only keeping it alive, evolving it to the next level, I think that's what keeps a lot of wrestling fans around and passionate for what y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, with you being the champion, who is the number one guy that you look at and like, I'm gonna have to deal with you because you're gonna cause me problems? You're the first one I got to take out.
Well, that's a tough question because Maddox ain't going away. Maddox ain't going away. He's always one I have to look after. But there's Miles Blackwell. He's another salty veteran, and he's a former champion. And I know that he's looking for a title shot. But then there's also a couple of young and upcomers. Swamp Tarzan. He's weird. He's odd. He's got a different, unique style. He'll just throw his body at you. He's different. So I know that he's going to be hungry and he's going to be coming for me. And that's one I'm going to have to watch out for. Also, the electrifying Savion. I mean, he might be small, but he's a ball of fire. And I know that he snuck one in on me one before, and I know that he thinks he can do it again. He won't, but I know that he's going to be coming for me too. That's a tough question because there's quite a few guys that I've got a target on my back. The whole roster's coming for me, to be honest.
Right. And that's, as a champion, and this is me never being in the sport, so this is just what I see and what I think. As being a champion, you kind of look forward to that so you can let everyone know that this wasn't a fluke. This wasn't by chance. This was by design. And that's what, to me, makes a great champion. You can be very braggadocious. You can be cocky, but after the bell rings, it's all show and prove. So, with that being said, tell me about your tag team division down there.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that because about 6 months ago, I was a tag team champion. I am, let's see, we and my former partner, we held the tag belts for about 370 days. And I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I want to give me and Showtime some credit. I really do feel like we reestablished our tag team division. And I think our tag team division is healthy and strong right now. Our champions, the Brotherhood, they've been around for a long time. Chris Turner has cultivated an amazing group of young men over there. And now they are going to be tough to get the belts off of. But you've got a couple of other teams out there like DNA, Diego, and Ace, two brothers that are willing to do anything that might be a little smaller, but they will do anything to ensure a win. But then you've also got the workers under Frankie who are just two absolute nutcases. So, I mean, our tag team division right now, it's exciting. They at Stampede, they had a really exciting street fight with workers under Frankie and DNA, and they're doing good stuff down there in the tag team division. I gotta say, it's in good hands right now.
I'm biased because I'm a big tag team guy. Love tag teams. So, tell us about your women's division.
So we don't have much of a women's division down here. We have a couple of young ladies training with us, but we don't seem to attract a lot of women that are interested in training down here, at least on Jacksonville side. I mean, there's, of course, women wrestlers in Florida, but unfortunately, I mean, right now we just don't have the demand for it. So we don't really have a women's division.
Okay. And understandable. It's one of those things I think that when you get into a women's division, it is hard to be in one promotion anyway. You have to move around to get your field. So again, with you coming from tag team to solo, which one do you prefer and why?
Well, I prefer solo because singles matches are, one, I like the attention to be on me. Let's just call a spade a spade. Hey. I like the attention to be on me. So the tag matches were fun because, I could let Showtime do all the work and then I can just go in and clean up after,
Right.
at the end of the day, I want the attention to be on me. So I'm all about singles matches. Like I would prefer, if I had my druthers, I prefer singles action.
So here's the $1 million question. Would you give your former partner a shot at the title?
I mean, he would lose, but sure, if he wanted one.
Oh, well, hey, you definitely don't lack in confidence. I definitely see that. I love it. I love it when people are confident about themselves. But again, if you're not, who in the hell else would want it?
Yeah, somebody got to do the job.
Man, yes, indeed. So, how long has Continental been running since the reemergence of it?
1992.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to say we just did. I want to say it was Stampede 35.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you didn't want to bring up ages, but damn, that's a year year after I graduated high school.
All right, you got a little bit of time on me. You got a little bit.
A little bit. That's crazy. But I love it because, again, it's the history, and I'm assuming, of course, that Continental means something to all of you all.
Yeah, it definitely does.
And just to continue growing, and man, that is amazing. Again, off camera, we talked about I got to talk to Ron Fuller, and him and his family have so much invested with Continental that I love that. And the Armstrongs.
Yeah, we actually had Scott Armstrong. He was the referee. Yeah, we had him. He's done a couple of seminars with us.
And again, it's so amazing that the history is still there, and guys and girls hopefully just come back to keep that tradition alive. Because I can remember the first time I seen it, and the first thing I thought to myself, they better be good.
Yeah.
Because you're taking a name that means something to me.
Yeah.
And what I saw, I was so impressed.
Thank you.
Happy that it's going, and y'all are killing it, just to be honest.
Thank you. That's really our goal, is to put on a good show and to keep the tradition of wrestling alive. We take our business very seriously. And that's one thing that's lacking on the indies a lot, is seriousness. And that is one thing that we stride ourselves with, is seriousness. We care about and love professional wrestling. So that's why we do this.
And the biggest thing that I took from what you just said was professional wrestling.
Yes.
It's sadly enough, it's becoming a lost art form.
Absolutely.
And that's why I love indie wrestling so much, because a lot of places, no matter what is going on, they keep that tradition alive. Even to some of the simplest things. I got blessed last year to see a training class in Texas. And boy, I'm always one of the biggest supporters of wrestling, and very humble when I meet wrestlers. But when I got to see the trainees and what they were doing for the love of the sport, that just boosted everything up like twofold for me. I have so much respect for you all getting out there and putting your bodies on the line for our entertainment, to help us forget what the world is for at least a couple of hours.
Yeah. That's our job. To make you forget for just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Y'all do it so well. And so, another question I have is, what is your end goal for professional wrestling? What do you see yourself trying to accomplish in the future?
Well, honestly, I don't know if I ever want to go like on a national stage. I don't know if I want to do all that traveling. That's a lot of work in itself. And then, like I said, I don't know. Pro wrestling now is not where it's not what I like anymore. So I don't know if I would actually be happy doing it on a national stage. No tea, no shade to anybody who does it. It is what it is.
Right.
I am heavily involved in our training school here, Top Rope Wrestling Academy here in Jacksonville. I am one of our trainers, and I never realized how much I would love doing that. So I hopefully I can continue to keep training guys and keep helping produce wrestlers that are, like we were talking before, professional and can go anywhere and wrestle anywhere they want to and wrestle with anybody they want to. I think that would probably be my end goal, is to keep training, maybe one day try booking a couple of shows and see where that goes. But I really enjoy this training aspect.
That's really good to know. That I feel like there are so many good trainers out there that do their best to keep tradition alive.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are meant to be trainers, to give wisdom and impart what you know to someone else, and see that magic growth of what you help them become.
Yeah.
It's such a great staple, and I love that. The one thing I always say, leave the business better than you found it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a truly something I believe in. I heard it as a kid from wrestlers, and I truly believe that. I want the sport to thrive after we're gone. We are not even a thought, but the wrestling I want to keep surviving and elevating. What?
Yeah, wrestling edge, I don't know. It means a lot to me. And like you said, I feel the same way. Like I hope that my impact, at least on the guys that I'm around, is that it has made them better. I hope that I have taught them right, and I feel like I have, because I feel like they're getting better and we're getting better together. So I feel like I'm doing my job.
What? So if I'm just deciding, hey, I want to go to school and learn, what would be some of the first things you would tell me about training to be a wrestler?
Working out is very important. This is still show business, so your physical appearance goes a long way. That's the first thing to start. It's also important to have some sort of coordination. If you've never played a sport before, or if you've never done anything physical, this is a very physical business, and you're going to have to be open to a lot of judgment. That's another one. You got to check your ego at the door, because a lot of people think this is easy. And for some people, it comes easy, but for a lot of people, it does not. So if you come in with a big ego because you've been watching wrestling, you've been playing these games, and you think that you're ready to go, you're absolutely not ready to go. And you're going to have to realize you're going to have to slow down and start from the beginning and chill out and relax, because this is not something you just pick up over a day. It doesn't matter how many years you've been watching or playing games. You've seen other people do it. Pro wrestling, if you do it right, once you get it, it's very easy. But at the beginning, it is not. And you're going to have a lot of clunkers at the beginning. So, yeah, I'd basically say those are three things that you really need to start with.
When you had your first match, if you can remember, what was going through your mind before you hit that curtain?
You know what? I was my first singles match. I was very lucky to be able to do it with one of the guys that I went to JPWA with. So I was actually quite relaxed because I knew that I could shut up and listen to Alex because he had been wrestling for 5 years. And this was his, Dr. Tom's was his second training school. He also trained under Ricky Morton. So it was like, I know this kid knows what he's talking about. So I'm just going to shut up and listen. So the actual first match, I wasn't very nervous at all.
That's good. What and bringing up being a veteran or leading the match, what's one of the things that you would advise someone again who's never done it and you're about to get into the ring? What would you tell them about listening?
You just got to listen. You just got to open your ears and listen. And don't try to come up with anything on your own. Don't try to pitch in. Don't try to do anything. If you are in your first match or you're in your early years and you're in there with a veteran, it's basically a night off for you because all you have to do is shut up and listen and you can have a great match.
That's good.
And also do a lot of learning too.
And it's, again, funny that you say that. I think that a lot of, and I don't mean to be insulting or dismissive, but I think a lot of younger wrestlers do not do the research of learning from previous wrestling. They don't take the time to go back to look at.
They don't listen either.
Exactly.
They don't listen either. Whenever you critique something that they do, they say that you're old school, or it's wrestling's not like that anymore. And it's like, okay, well, go out there and break your leg if you want to.
And that's one of the biggest things I think that you got to realize when you're wrestling, you have another person well-being in your hands.
Life and death.
You have to, like you said, check your ego and make sure you can be there when that person needs you, and vice versa. Again, it's so many people that's been seriously hurt or even killed because they decided, oh, well, I'm not going to listen to you, and that old school crap don't work or whatever.
Yeah. Ought to do something that nobody's going to remember 5 minutes from now.
And people just want that pop. They just want that moment. Oh, it don't matter. I'm gonna do this so people gonna remember thee. Most people don't even care. They remember you because you elfed up pretty good.
Oh yeah, you almost killed yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, with the training aspect of it, do y'all also train referees? And
we do. We'll train referees, we train managers, we train wrestlers. If you want to learn any aspect of the wrestling side of the business, that's what we train on.
Is it rewarding when you see someone that you train become what you thought they would?
Yeah, absolutely. It's especially when you actually see them applying what you teach them in their matches, and it works. So it's definitely rewarding to see me giving them the tools to go out them to succeed, and to see them go out and actually apply them and see that they work, and then come back and say, huh, that actually worked. Yeah, I know it did. That's why I told you to do it. I've been watching this for a long time, kids.
Have you had a chance where you were trying to train someone and they were just really disrespectful to the manner of you tell them something, they went the whole different way.
Of course
And
I have.
how do you deal with that?
They just listen. I'm I don't want to say abrasive, but I am tough. And after a while, if you keep doing the same thing, I'm going to start applying a little more pressure. And I'm okay if you bow back a little bit, but if you keep coming back like you're better than me or like you know more or that you don't need to be taught, you don't last long. We're not looking for people to come in and tell us that they know more than us when they've never stepped in the ring before. That's one of those check your ego things that I was saying. Because of course I've run into that. But it's like, all right, you want to play that, that's fine. You're not going to be here for very long. And that person wasn't.
As a lifetime fan, I always try to make sure that I show respect to the wrestlers. Even if I've never seen you wrestle, I will try to show you respect for the simple fact I know this is a tough industry, that you're doing something that I love, and of course the person love it themselves, but it's a thing of, hey, I see what you're doing and I appreciate it because I can't do it, but I see you trying and building yourself, and it's such a great way that I feel of giving back. It's like, hey man, I respect this, love your stuff. Or even like I had an incident that was at a wrestling show, and one of the guys, he was second in his tag partner, and he was doing this thing, making people mad and everything. And it would happen to be a couple of chairs empty where I was. He came and sat down beside me, and I'm thinking to myself, man, you're an asshole. That I'm like, Jesus, you're an asshole. And I'm thinking, I know what wrestling is. I'm not stupid, but to the fact that you're riling me up where I really want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
So
remember that word professional that we were talking about before, but go ahead.
Yeah. So the guy, he whispered something. I couldn't make it out. And then he got up and he kept on doing this thing. After the show, I'm standing around talking to different people, and he comes out. I see him come out, and he comes straight to me. And he was like, Professor, man, I love you. You are such a great person. I'm like, well, I appreciate that. He said, man, I'm glad you heard me. I said, well, I really didn't. I didn't hear what you said. He said, I really wanted to talk to you then, but I couldn't break character. So he said, I whispered to you, stay after the match so I could talk to you.
Okay.
So I laughed at him. I said, look, I said, I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I said, man, you pissed me off so bad, I wanted to punch you in the face. He started laughing. He said, that's one of the biggest compliments I ever got.
Okay. Like I said, you got some stories.
Exactly. So the whole thing of, he knew, even though, again, I'm just a podcaster, but for the level that he has respect for me, he actually thought about breaking character for a second. He's like, no, I can't do it. And he tried to figure out a way to talk to me.
The president slides you a little note.
Right. But we talked, and I think 3 weeks later, I had him on my show, and we talked about it. But the thing about it for me was, he kept himself in character. He knew. And for me to know wrestling, and you get me angry, I
Mhm.
figure like you're good at your job. You got the emotions out of me, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm. See, I tell the police stay out of the crowd. Don't listen. We down here in Florida. There's a little old lady in Palaca that I'm pretty sure wants to stab me every time I go there. So, don't go anywhere near that.
But that lets you know you are doing your job.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to go down to Palatka here in a few months and put this shiny gold belt right in that woman's face. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
And I've like we talked about before. I have stories, but certain things just really pop me so easily. One show, it was just me and my wife. My wife's first time to go into a wrestling match, and we were ringside, and the guys were fighting right in front of us. Well, one guy threw the other guy over the barricade, barely missed me.
Mm-hmm.
He jumps over, they doing their thing. He throws them back over the barricade. He decides he's gonna do a hurricane runner off the barricade. He went, he jumped, stepped on my ankle. He hit the move, no problem. I'm sitting there, I'm like, he just stepped on me. I'm like, okay. Just I know he didn't mean it, but still I'm in my
man. You didn't need to do that.
Yeah, you come back over here, I'm gonna have to take a swing. So
I'd have been mad.
So then they had the admission, and of course he comes out selling his merch and everything, and I got a chance to talk to him. I said, man, you stepped on my ankle. He was like, oh man, I was like, no, there ain't no sorry, ain't nothing. I said, I should just whoop your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started laughing because you got to realize too, I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
So he probably was thinking, oh shit, now I got to fight, and hopefully some more guys. Good. And of course I told him I was joking.
Hopefully he never did it again. Hopefully he learned the lesson that day.
Yes. And every time I see him since then, we always just laugh. And again, with indie wrestling, you can have that interaction. And I think that is just so amazing when you can talk to the fans can talk to you and understand that may be their only time to talk to a celebrity, because that's what y'all are, celebrities to them. And it means so much, and it keeps them coming back for more. So
it definitely does. I mean, crowd engagement is a huge part of pro wrestling. Like that's you got to keep the fans going along, or if they don't care, why are they coming?
Exactly. So with the grandmother thing that you brought up, I'm assuming now I generally try not to, but I'm assuming that you're a heel. Am I correct?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So what's been the worst thing that you've done that you felt like drew real heat, that you were like, man, look, we're walking out together just in case?
You know, I think my personality just draws natural heat. See, I like to get out there in their faces. The move that Mark Henry used to do where he slides over the guy's head when they're on the rope.
Right.
I do that move as well because I like to do it, because as soon as I do it, I'm right there staring and yelling in somebody's face. And it makes them mad, especially when you're beating up their favorites.
Right.
So it's I don't feel like I do a lot of. Well, let's see. I used to hit a lot of people in the head with I used to have a manager that had a cane where you could unscrew the diamond pendant on top. I used to hit a lot of people with that. I used to make people pretty mad, but I just gotta say it's just my my joyous personality that brings out the real anger in these people.
But I love that, and I love the fact of you get a chuckle out of it because I'm gonna assume that you pretty much start looking around. Who am I gonna tick off?
Absolutely. From the time I walk through the curtain.
Oh, got.
From the time I walk through the curtain, I can already tell who it's gonna be. And I hope it's a friend and family member of the person I'm wrestling. That's always the best. It's always the best.
Oh my God. So you really want to sell it, then?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's your baby boy here? Then I just smack him across the face. It's just fun. Fun.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. This has been fun.
I try to have fun with this. I'm a big believer in giving people flowers because I think a lot of times people really never get to hear how much they mean to other people. And most times, unfortunately, we wait until after they're gone and the emotion of, oh, I should have told you, I wish I had a chance. And I'm a firm believer in letting people know what I feel. And I feel like not only Continental and yourself are doing some great work, but I think I'm more happy that you all continue to bring that tradition of Continental to so many people, and you give them a chance to forget about their lives for a couple of hours, because life can be very hard, and you transfer their worries to some joy.
Yeah.
And they can always look towards Continental to get that, or that heat that if they get that chance to boo you or throw something at you, they're gonna go for it.
And I'm gonna give them that chance. Just it's fun. Be mad. I'm still champion.
And I want to thank you for that. I really do. And I want you to really continue what your dreams are. I hope you have a long and prosperous reign as the heavyweight champion. I can't wait to see when you get to transfer over to just being a trainer, how many great people are going to come and get your wisdom and go to the next level. So I truly, not only for your fans, not only for my fans, and not only for me, but everybody that loves wrestling, thank you so very much.
Listen, thank you for having me on your show today. And on behalf of, myself and then all of the guys on the roster or Booker, we really appreciate you inviting us onto your podcast and giving us a little bit of publicity, because we deserve it. And I appreciate that. And also thank you for giving me the chance to come on here and also plug our wrestling school, Top Rope Wrestling Academy. We do have a tryout coming out on February 22nd, and the best one there gets free tuition. So show up, be ready. If you want to be a pro wrestler, we're pretty good at it.
I love it. And if it wasn't for the fact that I was a little bit older, I would come down there and show everybody something that they had never seen before.
Hey man, come and hit the ropes anytime.
Man, look, I don't know what kind of medical staff y'all got, but if I hit a rope, y'all be rolling me out, getting a gurney, trying to take me out.
We can probably get a couple of guys on four sides of a door and put you on there and get you out. We get you taken care of. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got you.
That sounds good. I got people down there, so hell, I may come down there and give it a shot.
Anytime.
Oh man, guys, girls, thank you so very much for joining me around the campfire once again. Again, another amazing story and learning so much about wrestling. Again, if you do not realize this, if this is your first time, I understand. But if you've been watching me any, you know I'm a big traditionalist. I love when people are continuing building the sport the right way, as I like to call it. And you can morph into whatever you like, but keep tradition embedded in you, because we don't ever want to lose that art of wrestling. As I always love to say before I leave, and again, I mean it deep from my heart, please, please, please go support your local indie wrestling promotion. It is something that I truly believe in. That is, I'm not saying that WWE is better. I'm not saying they're worse. What I'm saying is you get a different atmosphere that will really draw you into the sport. And if you have a family, man, you can take your family, let your kids get something special that's gonna last a lifetime. And you can go in with money and you can actually come out with money, because tradition and not trying to tear your pockets down, indie wrestling is the way to go. So, with that being said, I am Professor Bear. This has been a Bear's Thought, and we will see you around the campfire very, very soon. Thank you.
Cheers.